Can a city become a new home even when your roots are divided between two completely different worlds? For many people, moving abroad is not only about changing countries, it's about rebuilding identity, finding stability, and learning how to belong again. Today's guests know this experience very well. Born and raised in Lebanon, with Polish roots, she moved to Warsaw during one of the most difficult moments in Lebanon's modern history, searching for safety, opportunity, and a new beginning. Joining us today is Kamelia EL Helou, an accounting professional, multilingual speaker, community leader, and entrepreneur who knew Poland really well, but discovered it once again. Hello, Kamelia. It's really nice to meet you.
Oh, nice to meet you, and thank you for having me.
Since how long have you been living in Poland?
I've been living since 2020, so it has been like around 6 years.
And you moved here because of studies or because of...
After finishing my bachelor's degree, there was an economic situation in Lebanon, and we felt that it's not going for the better. So we decided to move out and come to Poland. Since it's my second home, it's my nationality as well. So we decided to come, and we thought it's the best way to pursue a career, because in Lebanon it was impossible to find a job.
But you've been visiting Poland before in your childhood?
I was, because I have my mother's side here, my grandmothers, my aunt. And so we visited every year in summer for around a month. We visited Warsaw, we visited many cities and suburbs.
But after coming here, like moving to Poland for like, I think for like longer period of time, was Warsaw different or was it the same?
It was too different. Like when I moved here, I was a bit surprised, because it became better, it grew, it's more modern, more advanced, and even people are more open, more friendly. You know, people didn't even speak English a lot before, but now almost everyone speaks English. It's more international, more intercultural, and this is like, it's one of the most beautiful cities now in Europe.
It's interesting for me also. Did you like look at this city in a different way since like you came here, especially for your career, for your work, than like looking at it as just a visitor?
Yes, actually, I knew that summers are very beautiful because of the weather. And I was so excited coming here every summer. Once I visited Poland in winter and I thought, oh my gosh, I wouldn't live here, because I was born and raised in a country that looks like an island. It has the weather of an island. It's so warm. The coldest weather could be like 5 degrees and everybody wears jackets. But here it can be like minus 15. So when I started living here, it was difficult mostly because of the weather. So that's how I see it differently. Mm-hmm. But of course, there are more advantages now.
And were there more obstacles on the way than just, that surprise of the weather?
Of course, even though I am half Polish, but I was born and raised in a different country. So for me, it's coming here is like a foreigner for me. I also got that cultural shock. It was difficult for me to start and to be integrated in society, and the business culture is so different from Lebanon. Also, it's as well because when I got a job here, COVID hit. I got only 1 week in the company, and then I started working from home. So it was a shock for me that my first job is working from home. And for 2 years, I couldn't do any friends, which was it was a very difficult stage of my life.
Mm-hmm. And would you say, like, because of this experience, because of this COVID lockdown, you couldn't like maybe integrate and like in culture, in society?
Yes, it was difficult because I know no one. And also like, you have like applications in the company that you can talk to people, but also it's difficult to make friends from your job, and I didn't have any other activity. So that's why it was so difficult to communicate with people.
And for now, would you say it changed?
Of course it's changed. Like after COVID, everybody went back to the office, and I could meet a lot of people. I could do other activities. Even like I saw everything on Facebook. You can see all the events, and you can go to many events, many gatherings, and meet people. I made a lot of friends because of that.
We can
Yes.
move now to your work, since we mentioned it. I know you do several different things. What are you up to now?
Now I have a full-time job in accounting. At the same time, I opened my own business. It's called Habibi Celebrație. It's about multicultural events, and especially the Middle Eastern culture. I did some events. For now, I did a pause because I'm doing a brainstorming, and also there's summer, so I need to take a break. Other than that, I don't have any other job, but I go for public speaking, which is like weekly activity that I do, like professional activity.
I would really love to go back to public speaking, but for a while I would like to focus more on your business, because I guess it was a different experience of opening business in a foreign country, right?
Yes, it was a bit difficult because the most difficult part is to open the business online. It's a long process. But I didn't have like huge difficulties with it. The harder part was finding venues in Warsaw. This is the most difficult part for event planners. But people were open to my ideas, and it was easy to reach people.
And who is Habibi Celebrație for?
Habibi Celebrație is for everyone. But I can say that it's mostly focused on the Middle Eastern culture, because I barely found some place that could make you feel at home. So I thought this is a good idea to make Middle Eastern people feel at home.
And do you think
Yes.
you've made like a community of Middle Eastern people in Warsaw here?
Yes, but you mean from the company or from like by myself?
Both, maybe. I didn't know like which way.
Yes, in both ways I was able, and even like there's a large group online for Arab people, for Middle Eastern people, for Lebanese people, and I made a lot of friends. You cannot be friends with everyone, even if we are from the same country, but also it depends on like common points between people. So I did make a lot of connections. Also from my business, I met a lot more Middle Eastern people. Even people from different countries were interested in my events, and they were into the culture.
That's also interesting for me, because maybe there was like a bridge built between different cultures, like Polish and more Middle Eastern one. Were you up to also Polish people joining the events?
Yes, actually there was Polish people joining the event. There was either like single Polish people who came by themselves, but even like there was a couple mixed, like one person is Polish, one person is Middle Eastern. So it was like a real like gathering both cultures together.
And what
Yes.
activities did you do during these events?
The first one was a Ramadan event. I chose a Lebanese restaurant, and I did a gathering there with all the activities. And as I said, like people from different countries came, not only Middle Eastern people.
And for now, it's stopped for a bit. You are looking for new ideas, or?
Yes, I'm brainstorming. Also, I paused because of summer. And like people are not traveling, I will also travel, so I cannot balance everything. So I think in winter I will come back and bring some big ideas.
I mentioned that we'll go back to public speaking, and I have a question about that because I guess moving abroad, changing countries, is a bit difficult for I don't know, having confidence in this, and maybe public speaking is a way for you to like regain this confidence.
Yes, actually, public speaking opened a lot of opportunities for me. The group that I go to is very open, it's for everyone, all the cultures, all the languages, but we mostly do it in English. This is a community, like very open community that is supportive, nobody criticizes you, and it also helps you grow and meet a lot of people. Like I made a lot of friends and I feel supported. It's also encouraging and makes you more self-confident.
Mm-hmm. And did this experience also helped you in your business in a way, would you say?
Yes, it did. Not only connections, but also my personality grew. I became more confident, and that was a push for me to open.
Mm-hmm. I would like also to talk a bit about cultural differences. Do you see, since you've been coming here before, but all those experiences, did you see cultural differences between Poland and Lebanon that was like really significant or really interesting?
Yes, there are a lot of cultural differences, including almost everything, like the food, the lifestyle, the habits, the communication. Now, for Lebanese people, it's a country that has taken a little bit of the European culture because we have some French and British history. So we took part of the European culture and part of the Middle Eastern culture. It's mixed. So it's easier for Lebanese people to get along with the European culture. But also there's a lot of differences.
Mm-hmm. And were there some situations, I don't know, maybe funny or even like difficult to go through because of cultural differences here?
At the beginning, I can say yes, because the difference is also in business culture. Like, for example, it's easier for us to make friends at the office in Lebanon. Everyone feels like family. But here it's more formal and it takes time to build the connections. I didn't encounter anything funny, but of course it was a challenge for me. But because I made Polish friends, they were really open, and from them I was able to learn about the Polish culture. And now I'm adapted to it. But I also bring my Lebanese touch. I always like to keep my identity, and I'm not afraid of that.
Identity is also, I think, an important thing we need to mention. For now, what would you say about your identity? Did it change after coming here, or it stayed the same, or you feel like divided between two worlds, or you're more close to one of these worlds?
About my identity, I think I kept it fully, and my values are still the same. I didn't change. I tried to change myself at the beginning to be more engaged, to feel like I belong here, but I thought it depends on the people that I go out with. So I cannot go out with friends who do not have the same values and common points. Now that I made many friends, I realized that I don't have to change myself to be engaged. And there are different cultures here. You don't have to be fixed to one culture. You can choose the people that you go out with. So I don't have to change anything in myself.
But would you say Poland changed something in you in case of your characteristics or your viewing of the world?
I actually grew better. I have a stronger personality. At the beginning, I can say that I had stress, depression, because it's difficult to move and leave everything behind and go through this weather, this change. So, but when you go through hard stages in your life, you become stronger and more confident. I was a little bit shy when I was in Lebanon, but now I'm a more confident person. And I'm more open because I didn't think that I can go through many jobs. I can speak to people from different cultures. I learned a lot. So now I'm more mature, even because of Poland.
Mm-hmm.
It has changed for the better. I didn't think like that. I was so upset that I moved. But now I'm very thankful to Poland, actually. Yes.
And if you went back in time to this stage of changing countries, of moving abroad, was there anything that you, I don't know, would do differently or have a different mindset back then? Would you change anything?
If you mean that if I didn't move from...
No, like the experience of moving, but like, would you change something in your mindset back then?
Yes, because at the beginning I was always thinking there will be some time that I will be back home, and I didn't live my life fully. I said I will be happy when I come back home. But I realized it's very difficult because of the situation, and also I built a life here that I cannot leave. I'm so attached to it. I love it. So what I would change in my mindset back then is to be hopeful and not to postpone my life.
That's a really beautiful quote. Would you say anything to people that are like before the decision of moving abroad, or are like their plan is to move abroad but they're afraid? Would you have an advice for people like that?
Yes, if you have an instinct and you have done your research that it's good for you to move, just move. And whatever that you are afraid of is going to make your life better. Because if you do not have challenges, your life does not change. I was always afraid, always overthinking, and I made safe steps. But I realized that the most risky steps made my life better and more adventurous. And, life is short, so don't stay in the same place. You need to move. So my advice is to just do it. Do not overthink.
Thank you so much for this message. With me was Kamelia EL Helou. Thank you so much for this talk, and it was really a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure of mine too. I had a lot of fun as well. Thank you.